Hello and welcome back. So in this video we'll be looking at the same question, which is on Good Sleep Limited, and we'll be working out the total unit cost using traditional absorption costing system. So here's the same question, but we will be working out the total cost of making one pocket sprung mattress and one foam mattress using traditional absorption costing system. So remember, in the text we mentioned that absorption costing system uses blanket rate, what we call blanket rate. Okay, so the total production overhead cost when we're using absorption costing system could be allocated using machine hours or labor hours. We can assume that those are the only cost drivers that we have. Okay, now just to remind you of what I would like to call the steps that are involved in calculating the total unit cost under the traditional absorption costing system. We normally would calculate the overhead absorption rate, which helps us to allocate the production overhead cost to the cost objects. Cost objects in this case being the pocket sprung mattress and the foam mattress. Once we've worked that out, we can then calculate our total unit cost. Okay. Remember that to calculate the overhead absorption rate, we need to know what the total production overhead cost is. We also need to know what the activity level is. Okay, so are we allocating the cost based on machine hours or labor hours? So going back to the question, if you look at the third sentence, we are told that the management of Good Sleep have previously used traditional absorption costing system to allocate overhead cost on the basis of direct labor hours. So it means we're going to allocate this amount, which is the production overhead cost, based on the total direct labor hours. Okay. So in making one pocket sprung mattress, we need 8 hours, right? And to make one foam mattress, we need 6 hours. Now we also know in the question that we need to make 1,000 pocket sprung mattresses and 2,500 foam mattresses, so we can work out our total direct labor hours required for the year, okay, which would then be 8 hours multiplied by 1,000 pocket sprung mattresses plus 6 hours multiplied by 2,500 foam mattresses. Okay, so our overhead absorption rate will be our production overhead costs, which we are given in the question as £1,725,000, and then divided by the total activity level. So activity level based on direct labor hours. Okay, so that will be 8,000 hours plus 15,000 hours, which will give us 23,000 labor hours. Okay, so our overhead absorption rate will be £75 per labor hour. We can then work out our total unit cost. So in the question, we're given material cost and labor cost per unit, which are both direct costs. So £250 and £90 for pocket sprung mattress, £150 and £60 for foam mattress. So those are our direct costs. Our production overhead costs will be £75 per labor hour multiplied by the labor hours required to make each unit. So for pocket sprung mattress we need 8 hours, foam mattress we need 6 hours to make each unit. Okay, so the production overhead cost per unit will then be £600 for pocket sprung mattress, which is £75 multiplied by 8 hours, and then for foam mattress that will be £450, which is £75 multiplied by 6 hours. If you add up all these costs, we'll have £940 for pocket sprung mattress and then £660 for foam mattress. So this will be our unit cost if we're using the absorption costing system. Okay, so which method is more accurate? Is it the absorption costing method or the activity-based costing method? Now with absorption costing method, remember that we allocate the cost using either machine hours or labor hours, regardless of whether or not the activities are driven by machine hours or labor hours. Okay, so it might not be that accurate, but with activity-based costing system, we look at each activity and we allocate the cost based on the amount consumed from each activity, and we also use the cost driver. Okay, so the cost driver for output related overheads might be different from the cost driver used for procurement cost, as we saw in the first video. So the cost driver for activity A might be different from the cost driver for activity B, right? So this is why activity-based costing is more accurate in this sense. It's also useful to consider the selling price per unit. As we're given in the question, the selling price for one pocket sprung mattress is £1,200 and for foam mattress is £800. Now if we use absorption costing method, the total cost of making one pocket sprung mattress is £940. So if we decide to use this method, we can say, oh, this company is making the profit by selling pocket sprung mattresses. The same for foam mattress, because the selling price is higher than the cost price per unit when absorption costing is used. But using a more accurate method, which is the activity-based costing method, we can see that the total unit cost, okay, for one pocket sprung mattress is £1,268.38, which means we're making a loss of £68.38 by selling pocket sprung mattresses. Okay, so this is the more accurate figure here. And it also tells us that the foam mattress is actually more profitable than we think it is, okay, if we use activity-based costing method. So we could advise the management of Good Sleep Limited to consider factors that would drive down the cost of making the pocket sprung mattress, so that is at least lower than the selling price, and they can make the product more make the product profitable in this sense. Or they can consider increasing the selling price if possible. They need to consider other factors. They might also consider producing more foam mattresses than they are planning to at the moment, right? It also depends on other factors such as market demand. Okay, so if we use a more accurate method, it gives us the true view on the profitability of each product, and this is why activity-based costing system is more accurate and preferred to absorption costing system. However, absorption costing system is more popular in practice. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.